Let me tell you the story of how I thought I was almost dying. Boom! Boom! Cześć ludzie! What's up people? Hola! Vigo's dad here. Welcome to another episode. What I have here, a bunch of medication for stomach issues, sedatives, stuff for anxiety, pain, headache. The reality is that it happened to me, guys. I became a victim of deep anxiety. Never in a million years I thought I would become a victim of crippling anxiety. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, right? For the most part, that's true. But when the level of stress reaches a point where it literally boils up, then you reach that upper echelon where anxiety lives. I had a situation where I literally thought I was dying. Let's go, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this outside. Okay. One second. Okay, so the backstory to this issue, this health anxiety, I think I can trace it back to April of last year. I caught COVID for the second time. For the most part, I felt pretty okay. April last year, we were in the peak of Omicron, the first reports of younger people having heart issues because of either COVID or the vaccines. Big disclaimer though, I am not making this episode about the vaccines, okay? Or even about COVID. So whether you took your vaccines or didn't, what you think about it, it's your own opinion. My mom happens to be a general surgeon. She has been very active in everything regarding COVID. I remember that she told me at the time, pay attention, be on the lookout, because there are more and more reports of younger people developing heart issues. Anything weird, any weird pains in your chest, if you feel that you are running out of air, and the typical sign. So I was like, okay, fine. It happens to be that exactly right after I recovered from the second COVID, I flew here to South Africa. And I cannot explain, but maybe it was all in my head. I started feeling weird, like I had a pain here on my chest on this side. So keep in mind, all this was now constantly in my mind. But what if something's wrong with my heart? What if I am having one of those post-COVID issues? One day, I got out of my office and I went to the supermarket to buy some food. As I was waiting for the Uber outside, I got this horrendous pain here. And then it radiated down my arm. And I'm there thinking, okay, this is undeniable right now. This is undeniable. I have a very big pain. What is this? Am I having a massive muscle spasm? What is going on here? But it stayed like that for like a solid 10 to 12 minutes. The Uber came, and all this time I was thinking, okay, I have to go to the hospital because it was very strong pain. In my mind thinking, you know what? I'm having a heart attack. This is a heart attack. But I went to the A&E and immediately said to them, I'm 40 years old. I have a very big pain in my chest right now. And they immediately took me to the emergency room. They checked my blood pressure. Mind you, I usually don't have any issues with blood pressure. My blood pressure was sky high, and she said, okay, the blood pressure is really high. We have to do some tests. So they ran all of these tests, like electrocardiogram. They hooked me up to different machines. I was there for like 6 hours. Lo and behold, nothing was wrong with my heart. Now, I think that this was the very particular moment that created a before and after for my now anxiety. Now, fast forward to last November. I developed gastrointestinal issues. Basically, I had very hardcore reflux. If you guys have never had that, let me tell you, 8 out of 10 symptoms mimic that of a heart attack. And of course, my mind, going back to May, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm having a heart issue again. And of course, Dr. Google, who is your best friend, be honest, Dr. Google is your best enemy. Everything I kept reading was like possible heart issues. You should go to the A&E. You should go get checked. And I don't know how many of you guys have kids, but I will tell you something. Once you have kids, there's this weight on your shoulders that you feel like you cannot let anything happen to you, because of course your family depends on you. And that was a very big source of pressure to me, because I am sitting here in my apartment in South Africa alone, in a country that, to be fair, it's not so easy, because it is a dangerous country. So for example, calling an Uber at 2 in.the morning, it's dare I say, it's a gamble, right? First of all, it's not guaranteed you're gonna find an Uber at that hour, and second of all, if you do, what can happen to you anyways. I also made a huge mistake of buying a blood pressure machine to see if everything was fine. And if you guys know anything about that, when you're stressed, your blood pressure skyrockets, and then it becomes a circle, right? It becomes literally a cycle where you are worried about something, and then that will raise your blood pressure, and then you get more stressed because why is your blood pressure through the roof? Do I have something? And that's the cycle that I sadly fell into, and that triggered such a big issue that I've never experienced in my life. I could not sleep. I had pain in different parts of my body that was literally created by anxiety. Sometimes I had flare of pain on my leg or in my back. In my head, I developed tension headaches. Do you guys know what is a tension headache? It's like, it feels like the muscles here on your temples and here in the base of your skull, like someone is squeezing your head. It literally feels like if you have a very thick and tight band around your head. It just made me feel as if something was wrong with me, and I could not get out from it. I went to the doctor. Thankfully, I called my mother, who literally saved my well-being, because I kept telling her that, I have these feelings, and look, I have the blood pressure so high, something must be wrong. And she's like, nothing is wrong. She's my doctor. She knows my history perfectly well. She's like, you don't suffer from high blood pressure. You have stress. We have to calm down. We have to do some meditation. I found some amazing videos to learn how to breathe, to learn how to control what my mind was telling me, because my mind was literally screaming something that my body did not have. Now, granted, I did have something. I had gastrointestinal reflux, basically, this thing called GERD. I had the milder version of that, which is called NERD. I went to the doctor. I got a camera shoved down my throat. Not fun. Eventually, I flew to Poland in December, and immediately being with my family, of course, being on medication for the reflux, which means that no longer I had any pains when I was trying to fall asleep or anything. And I did a lot of mental work, reaffirming myself that I was fine, that I was okay. And today I have to say that I'm pretty back to normal, almost, I guess. So once again, for the most part, I feel pretty okay already. I would say maybe 95% there. I'm making sure I exercise a lot more. I was already exercising a lot and doing a lot of cardio, but I've increased that just because it helps you. When you exercise, endorphins get released, and not only you, of course, get healthier by obvious reasons, blood circulation and all of the things that your body does when you exercise, but there's also the mental aspect, and that is very, very important. Take care of your mental health. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of the episode. I hope you liked it. I've been thinking about whether I wanted to do this episode or not, to be honest, because I'm putting my personal life out there. But I also think that as a person that is sharing things with you guys, maybe I could help one or two people by telling you my story in regards to this, because not everything you see on camera is 100% the real story. I always try to tell you the real story, but you don't see the big picture, everything else that is happening. And I was making videos and sometimes really, really, really feeling like at the same time I was going to I was gonna die any second. But you know, all that is under control, and I cannot stress it enough. Go seek help if you are going through something similar. Talk to a friend, talk to a family member, preferably talk to a specialist. You need to get to the root of the problem. What is causing you to feel this level of stress and anxiety? Maybe you need medication. There's a lot of medication out there these days that don't have many side effects. Once again, if you feel compelled to tell us your story in the comments, then do so. Obviously, it always helps to share and see that we're not alone. Anyways, guys, see you on another episode. Bye-bye.